Hey, back with Postgame, Jordan Kiss. Now I'm actually joined by assistant coach Kyle Bodie. Kyle, a 4-1 loss to Chilliwack tonight. Again, a chance in the third period. But I think overall, an up and down game for this team. But I think a great pushback at the end. But just too little too late here tonight.
Yeah, it was nice that we did have some pushback there for sure. Don't get me wrong. Had a couple pretty clean looks at the end there where, all of a sudden it might be 3-2 with over 2 minutes left, and the game's totally different there rather than missing those ones and, giving up that empty net. But, again, it's just a couple mental mistakes that end up right in the back of our net, and right now we have to earn everything we're going to get, and when, for whatever reason right now, when we're having those mental lapses, they're ending up in the back of our net.
That's kind of been the way it's gone all season. But first period, again, another a great first period, as we've seen so many times. You were all over Chilliwack in that first frame. Now, Chiefs do get the first goal in the game, but you guys didn't let up, and it could have easily been a big lead for you guys in that first period. Asher White's got his first goal 4-on-4 on a great play that he started 4-on-4. What were your takeaways from that opening period?
We liked our period. We came out, other than that one shift where it was, like I said, it was just a mental mistake that led to that goal against. But other than that, we felt that we carried a good portion of that play and we're creating chances. Obviously, 4-on-4 has been a struggle for us, and obviously today we got one on 4-on-4, and happy for Asher. That was a great play. Following up as the late guy, and then a great shot, and nice on you to find him there. But again, we've had a number of those games where we've had a good first, like a really good first, and for whatever reason can't seem to follow that up, with a good start in the second. But we believe in the guys that we have there, so we don't think we're that far off, and I don't think they think they're far off either.
And I think we know this Kings team is very close, still missing something. But second period, again, another mental lapse that leads to a goal against. But right after that, again, you guys are quickly on the Chiefs. You have a power play. You're unsuccessful, but you start to build momentum, and that power play continues 5-on-5 about to the midway point of the second period. And then kind of that media timeout, things started to shift, and all of a sudden it was all Chilliwack to finish off that second period.
Yeah, and I don't know if that was a case of us being a little tired. It's been a lot of work with the guys. But in saying that, we did have our chances in the first half of that second. And, it's funny how things work. Maybe if Morrow's, post/crossbar there, maybe if that goes in, maybe we get a bit of life, or and maybe that tide continues to roll in our favor. And one thing that we got to work on as a staff and as a group is when a mistake does happen, they can't compound into a second or third or fourth mistake. And then if something goes wrong, you got to come back to the bench and you got to wash it. You got to take whatever that energy that you're feeling is, and you got to find a way to be able to put that into some positive energy for your next shift, because obviously we see from all four lines throughout the night, and all 6D, 7D, depending on what we're going with in the night, that guys can create. Is just we have to find a way to put 60 together.
What kind of happened there in that second half of that second period, though?
I don't know if I can pinpoint one thing. It kind of looked like little mistakes were compounding into big mistakes, and by that I mean, maybe we get a failed out, and then all of a sudden 2 guys have blown assignments, stuff like that, and now all of a sudden Chilliwack's got guys kind of wide open throughout the zone, and they were able to string a couple passes together. And once you're into the D zone and a team puts 4 passes together, all of a sudden, if you're chasing, that shift becomes a tiring shift, and if you can't stay tight, or if you can't get that bounce or get that puck out of the blue line, that's how that snowball effect happens. And what exactly the cause of that was, I'm not sure. Guys did look a little tired tonight, but that's not because of a lack of effort. I thought the effort was there, and as the game went on, I think you saw that, the guys didn't give up, and I haven't seen a give up in the group yet this year, so that's definitely something that they see in there as well, and it's just those chunks in the game. Usually we start good and finish good. And well, today was the second half of the second.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not always the second half of the second, but
it's the way it's kind of the same thing as, again, it's the same script kind of every night so far. But speaking of scripts, last night it was the Kings that had a 3-1 lead going into the third, and then tonight it was the opposite, Chilliwack having that 3-1 lead. You guys must have felt like, hey, they did it to us last night. Let's do it to them tonight. Yeah, for sure. And guys were talking about that in there. And we have a pretty good core here that lead and play in the right way. And came out in the third, and we had some grade A chances that normally the guys who have those chances will convert. And for whatever reason today they weren't going. But, we like to see that guys are still making plays, and guys are being creative, and guys are getting pucks to the net. We had one kind of goal line scramble there that doesn't go for us. Erzy hits a crossbar in an open net. I think their guy got a shoulder on that one-timer from Luch, low to high to Erzy. Lundy missed one high blocker. The chances were there in the third, and again, if one of those goes in, it's a different story. Yeah, and late in the third, you get another 6-on-4 power play. Happened last night, unsuccessful, and I think the power play has been an easy story over the last couple of games. Is it a coincidence that that since Will Jones has gone down, that the power play has started to struggle, or is it again? It's a little bit of a give and take of teams have been able to probably study a little more on the power play, but the power play 0 for 6 tonight. It seems like less of an advantage than what it used to be, because this again with the power play, there's so many opportunities to tie it, to get back in on the power play. But like you said, the chances were there, but it just wasn't able. It just hasn't been able to come up clutch when it's really needed to. Yeah, a power play shouldn't be that affected when you lose one guy. Obviously, Jonesy is a key part of that power play unit. We lost another guy who I believe is still leading the league in power play goals. And but in saying that, as a staff, we need to look at it and say, okay, some of these changes that we've tried to implement maybe aren't creating the looks that we were hoping for. But at the same time, the guys who are out there, it's a case of when you're rolling, you feel good going out there. You have it in your mindset. Okay, I'm going to get one here, or we are going to get one, I should say, because that unit they didn't care who got the goal. They just knew that they were coming out, and when things start swinging the other way, that other mindset comes in, and all of a sudden, some of those passes that guys are normally making, they hit a stick, hit a skate, or it's not a clean handle, or we hit a crossbar. Yeah. Or I actually think we hit a crossbar. We hit a post on the power play in the second. I think Merrill hit one. So it's just funny how things like that work, and we need to work as a group to get that mindset back and get that confidence back. And because like the guys we have on both units and guys who even might not get a ton of power play time right now, all have the ability to make those plays. Case in point, Harder's pass last night. And we have all the confidence in the world in the guys that we're throwing out there. And it's just like a couple tweaks definitely need to be made. But in saying that, we don't need to reinvent the wheel. I think they know what works, and I think they know where they have success. And it's kind of getting back to that and getting those guys feeling good about going out there. Because like you said, for a while there, it really was an advantage for us. And right now, not for lack of chances, but we're not getting the result. So, yeah. Well, tonight, I think one of the positives was, the defensive group for this Kings team. You started the game with 5. You finished with 3. Not ideal circumstances, but you have to like the way that all 5 of them battled all night long.
Yeah, and it's a tough spot to be in, right? Like they're playing big minutes, and it's a heavy game. Chilliwack's a heavy team, and for the most part, that 5, they rolled tonight. And obviously Greener went back on some kills and to end the game there, and I thought he did a great job back there as well. And, it's one of those things where we haven't been in a position where we've had to play in a shorthanded scenario on the back end like that. So for a lot of guys, it's new, and we need to do a better job of recognizing, and when I say we, I mean like all of us as a collective, is just, okay, we got to recognize the situation here and find our changes a little sooner, keep us a little fresher. It's a long game. Now we go down to 4. Game just got longer. Now we go down to 3. Thankfully, there wasn't a ton of time left when we went down to 3, but it's just little things like that. It's managing the game. But, all in all, for 5D, they did a pretty good job most of the night.
Well, next week you're back at home. You got 2 more games. You got the Cranbrook Bucks, then you got the Cowichan Valley Capitals on Teddy Bear Toss Late. It's your final 2 home games, before Christmas. You want to leave a good impression on the fans going into the holiday break here at home. But what's the next step for this Kings team, and what's going to be the preparation? What will the prep look like for the next week?
Well, yeah, you mentioned something there, leaving a good impression on the fans, and we're super thankful for the crowd, for the fans, for the support. Obviously, the results aren't where we want them right now, but the fan support this year has been tremendous, and it's something that really means a lot to us, and especially the players. They really feel that. So the prep this week, we got 2 different opponents. Obviously, you got to worry about the first one first. Cranbrook comes in. It's their first time here. Should be a good event. And then, obviously, Teddy Bear Toss the following night. It's typically a good night in this building. Historically, we've had some success on that night. But first things first, Friday. It's just back to finding a way, as a staff, finding a way that we can help these guys eliminate just those little mental mistakes. And usually it is just one little mental mistake, and for whatever reason, right now those are really hurting us. And on the flip side, when other teams are having those little breakdowns, we're not able to capitalize. So it's kind of like a tale of 2 tapes there. Back to work, this week, get to the drawing board, study this team. Obviously, you don't see interior opponents that much, so you got to pick up on their tendencies where you can, and I expect our group will come out with a lot of life on Friday.
No, we can't wait for more action here at the Hab. Kings and Cranbrook, first time in Powell River, Friday, December 1st, and then Teddy Bear Toss Night Saturday against the Cowichan Valley Capitals, and the final home game for the Kings before the holiday break. Get your tickets online at tickets.powellriverkings.com. Kyle, appreciate your time here post-game, and enjoy the rest of the weekend.
Thank you, Kisser. Thank you.